Kelly's here, that's right.
What's up there, Mayor?
You walk in, you just like,
Work at their pace.
they just go quiet. It's like,
Stealth.
Yeah.
Is it 4, Lisa? I got,
tonight?
That's
And then
3:59.
make a public statement. They're tested.
no, tomorrow.
You're going tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Is it gonna get up to?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency meeting. Today's Wednesday, June 26, 2024. It's 4 o'clock. Copy Nebraska Open Meeting Act rules are on the north wall of the agency boardroom. In attendance today, we have all 5 mayors and 1 county commissioner. We have our secretary, Lisa Hare, our project engineer, Jeff Thompson, our administrator, Dan Hoynes, and our legal counsel is also here, Adam Charleston. If you would, silence your phones and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any comments from the board? Okay, then we'll get right into our staff report, starting with Dan Hoynes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors, Dan Hoynes, County Administrator, or no, geez, I just misspoke. Wastewater Agency Administrator. So I did provide to you a written submission on Friday with a packet. Hopefully you've had some time to look through that. To spare you having to listen to the same thing a couple of times, I'll just open the discussion here. Do you have any questions on the administrator's report? And then I will go into more detail on the specific items when the agenda items are called. So open for any questions, comments on the...
Questions for Dan? No? No questions?
I think the next one's mine too, so I'll just stay here if you don't.
Okay, well, good. Hey, I have an alibi too. I forgot to announce Tony Gare, our CFO, is also present, so welcome, Tony. Okay. You got the next agenda item, or?
Yes, I believe it's, unless it's consent, yeah, the first one,
Yeah, well, we got,
then Jeff, and then I finish.
yeah.
Oh, Jeff's
We
report.
gotta get Jeff up here
Trying
first.
to be efficient, and I cost you more time. Go ahead.
No worries.
Chairman Kelly, agency member, mayors, Jeff Thompson, project engineer for the agency. Thank you. The weather hasn't slowed us down a whole lot. I'm pleased to report that all of the segment 1 construction work is complete. They're filling the pipe now around basically from 132nd Street all the way to the Springfield lift station site, and getting ready to test all that, which we don't expect there to be any problems, but that work's complete. Really, the only mainline pipe work that's left is a section between Mitchell Road lift station and about 96th and Platteview Road. So less than a mile, I would say, of pipe work left to be installed by the Hymas group. We did complete all of the segment 4 work. We're tied into Omaha. Our work is complete there. The only thing they have left to do in regards to work there is the city of Omaha has to install their flow meter so that they can register the flow rates as they discharge into their outfall sewer system. So with that, I'll just flip through a few slides here quick. This is segment 4, the entrance to the wastewater treatment plant facility. This is looking straight north on Harlan Lewis Road. You can see our tie-in structure in the back here, and this next photo is actually a little bit closer up to that, but this is the tie-in structure lid, the structure we built right over the top of the city of Omaha's outfall sewer structure, and then the metering manhole has the 4 bollard posts around it. And there's just another view looking south and west from Harlan Lewis Road there. That's the entrance into the wastewater treatment plant for the city of Omaha. This is the work around the equalization basin. Not real pretty stuff to show, but they do have all that pipe installed around the equalization basin. That's looking more or less southwest of the Springfield Creek, if you were hovering over Springfield Creek. And this is looking straight south before it crosses the Springfield Creek property into the Zimmermans. And then this is looking at basically hovering over Springfield Creek, looking straight east all the way to 132nd. So all that pipe's installed, and we're ready to test it. Are finishing up the work on segment 2 around the backside of the Sarpy County Public Works facility. You can see the access drive that was constructed here along the backside, and we're working on replacing that curb and gutter section that was torn out as part of our work, as well as the fencing system. And then this is at the lift station site at Mitchell Road, looking due east down Mitchell Road towards 99th Street. This is 99th and Mitchell Road looking north. You can see the pipe strung out there, and they're working their way from both directions right now today on that. And this is just moving north along 99th Street. And then this is the intersection at 96th and Platteview Road. I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, but there's not a lot of work left to show. You can see the excavator in the background. They're actually across Platteview Road there, and they're working their way back west towards 96th Street. This is the lift station site at Mitchell Road. It's come a long ways in the last month or so when we had our tour with Mayor Kindig and Mr. Kelly. There were still exposed foundations of the wet wells and the meter manholes and vaults. That's all been backfilled. They are actually setting the electrical building today. This is the electrical building slab and foundation system. That's all getting set today and delivered. So that landscape will change a little bit the next time I have images to show you here. So, and then this is another look of that, looking kind of southeast from the corner of that project site. And then here we are at the Springfield Creek Lift Station. You can see the secant pile systems that they put in before. You weren't able to see the excavation themselves or the secant pile systems, but it's just a conglomerate of individual piles that they can join together to make a structural system so that they can excavate that down 70, 80 feet and build the wet well base and all the walls up. They actually poured the first half of the wet well walls today, and anticipate that by next week they'll be pouring the second half of the wet wells for the lift station site there next week. So, and then this is just kind of a straight down aerial view showing that. You can see the wet well and the distribution manhole location at those two sites. So, like I said, not a lot to keep showing you guys as far as visuals go, because a lot of it's underground and it's been backfilled. And if you drive through a lot of the areas that we've restored from last construction season, the crops are looking pretty good, and things you hardly even know we were there. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions? No? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, 2 items on the consent agenda. Unless any of the agency board members want to see those, move the regular agenda, take a motion to approve as published.
Motion, Bobby.
Before we vote on that, I'm confused. If I did have a question on the admin report, is that part of the vote? Are we accepting that in the consent agenda? Or can I ask a question on the admin report?
There's not a specific resolution that accepts the administrator's report.
Do you want to go ahead and do this, and then I'll go back and ask that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just get this vote out of the way. I had a motion by, Bellevue. I think I'm going to give the second to Springfield. Any comments? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carries.
Okay, before we go to the regular agenda, Mayor Kindig.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you just tell me on the Sarpy County request to be part of, with the discussion, what's it mean to be designated? What's the definition of that?
We can go into the detail. That is a specific agenda item, the last one, under the now therefore be resolved, the specifics of that. But effectively, it just directs us and encourages us and tells us to work with Sarpy County as we're going through the WIFIA process to look at expanding or changing the use of any remaining funds.
And I understand why they would want to do that. They're backing this. I totally get
Correct.
that. But when it says that you request that Sarpy County be designated and
It would be
participate,
also,
all
should
you're
say
doing is,
also designated. There's multiple people, Mayor, that are
Okay.
designated in the resolution. I think the original draft had agency, staff, consultants, and we added Sarpy County to that.
and I think it says underneath, but just to say it publicly, you can't do anything with the, as far as any decisions expanding the contract or the scope of the contract or the dollar figure or anything
That
without a
is-
vote of this board and the county board, correct?
That is correct. And under agenda item 10, I intended to be more specific about
Okay.
the scope of that request and the authority and the process that would be subsequent to that resolution 2024-023.
All right, then we're gonna get to it, sorry. I just wanted to make sure, thank you, that's all I had, Don.
Okay, thank you. Item 5 is Resolution 18, approving the professional audit services agreement with Bergen KDV. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. We're all familiar with Bergen KDV. Some a little bit too familiar from last year, but they have been a very credible group. This is a one-year engagement. Last year, the projected cost was $21,000. This year, the projected cost is $23,000. Again, one-year agreement, not to exceed 23. Tony will be leading our audit, and then, where we're transitioning into something more permanent. But Tony's agreed to lead that audit, and that will start immediately on July 1st. She'll begin to work with Mr. Lentz from Bergen to finish our audit by December 31, 2024.
Questions for Dan?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, motion for Billy and second by LaVista. Any further comments? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carries.
Okay, item 6 is Resolution 19, authorizing purchase of liability insurance. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Member mayors, during the budget discussion this year, we brought to your attention that INSPRO, our current provider, at least through June 30 of this year, had submitted a pretty significant increase. I think the previous year was $21,000 or $22,000. They quoted us $310,000, I believe, for insurance the next year. Discussions with the fellow administrators, we reached out to a couple of vendors that represented member cities, Papillion in particular, Springfield in particular. We solicited proposals from those folks for insurance services. We received what we thought was a very attractive proposal and competitive proposal from the Jones Group, Springfield's provider, of $110,604. Now, we did put $311 in our budget, but put out the proposal or the contract here is $110,604. The staff did do a comparison of coverages and feel that it's comparable. We do have two people from the Jones Group today. If you want to know more specifics, Mandy and Brian, I won't torture their last names, but they're behind me. So I think that's a pretty significant savings, and with the assistance of the other member cities, I think we were able to realize pretty significant savings on that. So I respectfully request your approval.
Questions?
Everything's comparable as far as deductibles, amount of coverage,
Yes.
type of coverage.
Yes.
And you've reviewed that with them.
Right. And again, we had to bring in all the lift stations. We're going into O&M. So there is more coverage. So even that's 70 or 80,000 more than we paid last year, but significantly below 300. So we felt pretty good about the process and the proposal.
And this is who you guys used down in Springfield and had good experience with them?
Mm-hmm.
And their headquarters is in David City, Nebraska, is that right?
I didn't pay attention to that.
Did you guys drive up here from David City? No, okay. Because if you did, I would have said, well, we ought to at least let you introduce yourself.
I mean, they drove here. I guess I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. So Mandy and Brad, why don't you come out and just do a quick intro, and if they have any questions.
We call people that live in
I
Ashland.
have some quote proposals if you guys want to
Tax
dig into any really fun numbers and deductible options. But my name is Brad Carlson, and I Actually work for Jones Group out of the Ashland office. I am originally from David City, but I live in Ashland now. So.
And I'm Mandy Craig. I am the Jones Group Public Entity Program Manager, and I actually work from home. And what you all do here actually directly affects me, as I'm in an SID in Sarpy County. So I have a personal buy-in on what you guys do. So yeah, but we're happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. You know, this is public entity insurance. It's highly specialized. This is all I do with my day. So I'm not sure why you all have a bid for $310,000, but that's a whole heck of a lot. So,
Well, we appreciate your competitive nature and look forward to working with you guys.
okay,
Thanks for coming in.
sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Motion?
And move to approve?
Second.
Okay, motion by Gretna, second by Bellevue. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carries.
Okay, item 6 is a resolution 19 authorizing the purchase of oh no, I just did that, didn't I? I'm sorry. Agenda item 7 is resolution 20 approving professional services for Wastewater Water Technologies LLC. Jeff.
Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors, thank you. Jeff Thompson, project engineer for the agency. This contract is really just an extension of a previous resolution that was approved back in 2022. We contracted with Wastewater to purchase all of our corrosion inhibitor and odor control hardware. At that particular point in time, they had provided us with a quote for preventative maintenance services, as well as some level of monitoring and chemical deliveries for that particular biocide that we're using to control the H2S sulfide gas within the system itself. So this is really just an extension of that resolution to update the cost based on current market conditions. And I would expect that we would see something like this annually moving forward. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Why only a 1-year contract?
Well, I think, you know, the volatility of the market, they won't extend us anything longer than a year. We've been working under the preface, I think that, you know, when we got close to needing the product itself, that they would provide us with an updated proposal. We have not accepted the product other than the hardware for the pumps and the tanks and all that at this particular point in time, but it's more or less a commodity like fuel. It's hard to lock in for any longer than an extended period of time, or for an extended period of time.
And you said it's tied to the price of the chemicals fluctuating, or?
The price of the chemicals do fluctuate, yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by LaVista, second by Bellevue. Any further comments? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, item 8 is resolution 21 authorizing application for acceptance of community grant administered by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. This one's pretty straightforward. This is the $1 million community development grant that we received from Congressman Bacon in 2023. It's just one of the next steps formally for this board to accept this. We hope it will go quicker. We've done a lot of legwork up front on the first $3.5 million grant. I think we won't have to repeat, but approval of this will just notice the Congressman's office and the federal government that you've accepted this.
Okay, questions for Dan?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Papillion, second by Gretna. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carries.
Okay, agenda item 9 is resolution 22 authorizing the agency project engineer, treasurer, and secretary to draw request under the Whitfield loan. Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. This resolution does 3 specific things of substance. It authorizes the project engineer, treasurer, and the agency secretary to review, approve, and submit draw requests under the terms of the WIPIA loan agreement. The reason we're doing this, the nature of our monthly meetings, combined with when we complete projects, when we get invoiced, can on occasion make us exceed the net and 30-day terms by our contracts if we go ahead and make the draw request, and it is, we can't pay anything until this board looks at that and said, okay, here's the draw request. This board approves it before any money would be transferred. That will allow us to be more responsive and stay within our 30-day payments that we try to meet with all of our vendors. So just trying to stay ahead of it. A couple of issues driving it. Again, the last sentence, unless and until such payment is included in a corresponding claims report subsequently approved and authorized by the agency board. So we're front-ending it, not back-ending it, some of the invoicing.
Okay, what is that again?
So we're front-ending we're processing. Right now, we wait for the board to approve it.
Right.
We get the invoice, we wait for the board to approve. Then we start submitting all of the requests through there, and that takes a while.
So now this is going to enable one of those three to not authorize payment?
No, just to process.
Just the process.
That's the keyword. The authorization does not occur until there's a corresponding claim report approved by this board.
Right, okay.
That's specific language in the resolution, so can't transfer any money, can't do anything. We can just do all of our paperwork up front, ours and the WIFIA people, and then you folks approve it, we would then transfer money.
Yeah, because I don't think it would get through an audit if we did it any other way.
No. It's just, it's, the nature of dealing with these. I mean, we're blessed to have them. There's a lot of paperwork that goes with every reimbursement request. By the time we get the invoice and correlate them and send them up there, it's just front-ending the administrative paperwork before the payment's processed.
Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Gretna, second by Papillion. Any further questions or discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carries.
Okay, the last item, number 10, is Resolution 23, directing the agency staff to engage the WIFIA program for potential expansion of project scope under the existing WIFIA loan agreement. Dan Hoynes, Agency Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Member Mayors. This is not a new topic of discussion. It's one that we're navigating as we just made our first draw on May 30th from WIFIA. But as we are concluding Phase A, we're confident, I'll say certain, we are going to have remaining WIFIA funds. There are some projects that we have authorization to do that we don't believe would be the best use of funds. For example, build an office down at the Springfield location is an appropriate use. Right now would require no modifications to go build an office. Under no circumstances with what's transpired the last year, going out the NRD, some longer terms, we think that would be a use. WIFIA is very particular and narrow in their scope of what they will reimburse. And so what we would like to do, along with the county folks, is to begin discussions with WIFIA about the use of the funds to advance design for Phase 1B and Phase 2. A narrow request, not broad. If it's allowed first, and if they would allow it, what process would have to take place for this board and subsequently the county board to amend the use of any remaining WIFIA funds for Phase 1A and B. We did have a discussion, fair questions. Why don't we just say, kind of let us spend it anywhere in the project from A to Z? That will be a more difficult process. They are not going to give us a blank check to come in here. And I think that we need certainty with each other as a group here and with each member of what we may. And again, this, similar to the first resolution, does not authorize us to go spend one red cent on 1A or 1B. It authorizes us to begin discussions, not negotiations, discussions with WIFIA and say, if we have remaining funds, can we use them to begin the design, permitting, and easements of Phase 1B and 1A? End, period, at that. They will respond to that. If it's allowable, then we would come back with a subsequent resolution saying we would like to modify the loan, use the remaining funds for this specific intended purpose. A two-part. process: 1, pick the phone up, call them. 2, come back and report to you that they will allow us or they won't allow us. And that also will align a little bit with this. I've never had a problem with being too short, Jose. Yeah. It will align with the certainty of what remaining WIFIA funds will be available. So answer any questions on that if you have them.
Okay, no questions, motion?
Bellevue.
Second.
Motion by Bellevue, second by Gretna. Any further comments or concerns? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carries.
Okay, our next meeting is July 24th, 2024. All agenda items have been addressed as published, and the Sarpy County and Cities Wastewater Agency Board is adjourned. Thanks for coming.